Me. My name is Rudy, and today we're going to talk. Okay, so today we're gonna different things on how to get your arcade one up, what you guys should use, how you guys should plan. This is kind of a follow-up video to the planning video that I had before, so I'll cover some of the same things and some things different. Biggest thing, this is where you're gonna be playing all your games. This is going to be the hard part. You guys will actually have to come up with something that suits your design, or you can copy one of the other pre-existing boards that are out there. Kind of depends on what you want to do. It's all kind of up to you. For me, it took 3 attempts. I'm going to go over some of the things, how I planned. This is my perfect setup, but it should get you started. This is my design one. You want to use scrap wood. You don't want to use anything that is expensive, just some cheap scrap wood. And you plan. So my step one was I wanted this board to actually go along with, I wanted this one to actually have a trackball, a spinner, and a joystick to get me through this. So my setup over here is pretty much player 1, coin, rapid fire, auto fire, and clearing. Player 2, coin. Back here is a joystick, 6 buttons, trackball, 3 buttons, and arcade spinner. So you can see from the first video here, I learned very quickly that if you don't cut this precisely, or you don't have a laser printer to actually cut this for you, or a plasma cutter, you're going to get very close here. You can see I broke the wall here, and it's not too sturdy. Good news is the trackball is nice and up, and it was easy to control. So that's design 1. Tip number 2. This is also a piece of scrap wood. You can also see that some of the holes are not exactly straight, but this is kind of what I used to work my way through this. So we're going to go spend some time on this. So what I did to kind of get my design going is I took the biggest item. For me, this is a trackball. This one is actually about 20 bucks or so. And the way I measured this out, and if you're looking for scientific math, you got the wrong channel. If you want to make this work, you got the absolute correct channel with Mr. Rudy here. Okay. Pop the cover right off. There's a little lip right here to get that off. Turned it upside down. Found a spot where I wanted my stuff. Kind of laid out some buttons where my buttons should be. So let's see, coin, player 2, and let's see, arcade spinner. That goes the other way. It's actually upside down. More buttons here. I'm not gonna put all those in. And also things like speaker. That's also a very big item. So my speaker I put up here, and I got the other one on the other side here. Stuff that in, and I traced out everything. I went ahead and traced out everything, and I made the holes for this. So I knew exactly what I was going to be working with. That's kind of the design. Now, I did forget to say how I actually got to this board. Now, what helped me make the circles a little straighter is my pre-existing board here that I have. I'm going to take this stuff off of here for the moment. Let's pretend that this is just a regular piece of wood with no holes in it. What I did is, this thing is a perfect template, unlike for the other machine, which I'll show you here if you hadn't seen it before. That one was a little bit harder. So what I did is I laid this out, and I traced out the corners, like here, the notches, and I made my deal. I went ahead and cut this out, and then for like my button spacing, I used like these 2 holes right here. These 2 holes. These 2 holes have a perfect spacing, so when I was building the 6 buttons up here, I would go I'd find the two there in the deal, and I would go 1, 2. I would draw the circle, and then I would move over to the next one, draw the third, move down to the row, draw the first 2, move it up, draw the last one there. Again, the biggest problem is getting the biggest items. So like I said, again, I went ahead and put in the trackball. And then what I went ahead and did to make this easier is this thing here has the holes for the main board here through here. So what I did is I matched the holes. I drilled it. Sample again. So when I lined everything up, I went ahead and I drilled this hole, and on the other side as well. I put a screw through here. This kind of made it a little bit more sturdy, and so my stuff wouldn't move. And then I really like this design up here, the speaker outline. So I went ahead and put the screws in, drilled all the holes right here. These, flipped it over, since mine is stereo. So we've got it in stereo. Jokes will only get worse as the thing progresses. Same thing, put the screws back in, and went ahead and drilled all the holes. And you have a pretty good design right here for this speaker as well as the other one. Now you want to test fit everything into the machine to make sure that it works. So we're going to go do that real quick here. Okay, this is our Rampage cabinet, the one that we're working on. So we slide this in, goes rather well, and this is kind of what we have. Back here, this is a more complicated version of what I built. This is kind of borrowed from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had more sides here on this one. And you notice on this one I used 2 of the small boards that I had. But this one I had the luxury of actually, once I had it figured out, I used a cutter to cut everything out that I needed. So it is a little bit more mathematically straight. So the other thing that we want to check is installing your joystick here. This was a big problem. Let me remove this panel here. Side panel here gives you easy access to things. So you want to make sure, I don't have my the thing here, but you want to make sure that there's plenty of room with your joystick. As you can see, I really pushed my luck here and it's not exactly centered. So what you want to do is, this joystick has a little backing plate on here that I don't have here with me. And what you do is you actually set this up, and when you get it spaced out the way it's supposed to be, you just kind of put in your holes and get it to match. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you what I've been working on most of the day. A little bit dirty, but this is my arcade one-up board. This is what I'm actually building. You can see the lines a little bit straighter. Holes are a little straighter. And I'll show you the same thing I did over here, over there. So it's a little tighter here on this one, but you can still get it in. Now, going back to the joystick thing. This one's not perfect, but it's definitely a better match. So once you kind of figure out where it is, you want to move the plate, put it over the hole, drill the hole, and then put your stuff in there. So, ladies and gentlemen, my next stop now is to get this thing back in working order. Put on the hardware. We're going to talk about the hardware in the next video. Guys, have any questions or comments? I'd love to know how your projects are coming along. Please let me know, and I'll talk to you later.